There you go.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello. Hello.
Carol, Louise, Kathy, Cindy, welcome. Hi, Lana.
Louise says we're good on Facebook.
Oh, thank you, Louise. Kathy, how are we doing on YouTube?
Hey, Lana, how are you doing tonight? April, welcome to the show.
Welcome. We'll give everybody a chance to get on.
Good afternoon from Mississippi. Hey, Patsy, how are you doing?
Good on YouTube. Thank you.
Good on YouTube from both of you. Man, you're quick. They're quick.
What did you break? Oh, it's a feature.
It is a feature. Designed by AI. Hey, Karen, how are you doing tonight?
Welcome.
Cheryl, welcome to the show. Hey, Bernadine.
We're going to have fun tonight.
We always have fun. This is a small break in the week from, the hubbub and dash in and
Oh, today
run
was
to
that
the
day.
store, dodge the weather or something,
It was nonstop, and I don't think I got to everything that I needed to, and everyone that asked me for stuff, I did not get to them.
Yeah, what else happens? Winnie the Pooh, you gotta get your umbrella out. Woo, Piglet! Hey, Kathy, how are you doing? Hopefully you're feeling well.
Robert got a crown today.
Dickie, how are you? I'm waiting for Catherine to get on here so that we can swap crown stories. Hey, Polly, how are you tonight?
Hi, Polly. Shall we get started?
Sure.
Okay, we are getting the signal.
That's right. Go.
Robert.
You got the go. Green light.
We are Quilters HQ, Windmill Sewing Center, Sewing Machines Express, and Quilt Sampler. The websites are quiltershq.com, windmillsewingcenter.com, QHQ2.com, and quiltsampler.com. We do this every Tuesday from 6 to 7 Central. And tonight we are having fun with Halloween fabrics. But I do have a show and tell from last week. I do not have it quilted, but here is our little project that we did. I do not have the pattern done. When I do have it done, I will post it on the Joan Sews page on Quilters HQ, and you can download it. It'll be a free pattern. It turned out really cute, but I wanted to show you. Here, I'm going to come around and show you up close. So this is why I say always sew your edges, because I actually clipped it and see how it came apart right there. So I'm just going to hand sew using a ladder stitch to get those two back together. But when I was talking about, hey, sew those edges, see the other side, oops, sorry for the little earthquake there. The other side turned out really nice. They all stayed together, all of my seams. So just wanted to share that with you.
Hey, Stephanie, how are you tonight? A ladder stitch? What?
Ladder stitch.
Ladder stitching?
Cute. I really like this.
It did come out really cool.
And it's going to make a nice, cute little wall hanging.
Yeah. So you could, I mean, that's what all the designs are, right?
Yeah.
Smaller like that.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to do any more this size, because it got to be really kind of annoying when I'm like down on the very edge. See the back of it? It's almost reversible. So, I mean, when you're doing a 1/2 inch block, your 1/4 inch seams kind of overlap a little bit. So, but sometimes you just got to try stuff and play around. And anyway, moving on to tonight's project is Fresh In. You guys get first peek.
Boo!
They're calling it creeping. And it is
those little guys.
Super cute. Look at the dancing kitties. So it's not scary fabric, but I was gonna, so this is one panel. A panel is a yard. These are the fabrics that we're showing you tonight are available on the Quilters HQ website. If you go to up in the corner, up in the corner where it says register for Joan Sews, or the Joan Sews pages, these fabrics are up there. They are super cute, and don't sleep on these. They're going to go so fast. But
Hey,
I was going to
Stephanie.
do a little panel quilt, and yeah, wall hanging. That's what I'm going to do.
Beverly said real wall hanging.
Real like the wall hanging. So I was going to do a little sample quilt out of this. I'm going to make this panel a little bit smaller, and then there were a couple of ladies in today, and they bought this fabric as well, and they had the brilliant idea of turning these squares into mug rugs and trading them with their sewing group, which I think is a brilliant idea.
Cool idea.
So I don't really want, I'm not really a big fan of the horizontal panels that, I want kind of a vertical panel. And so I'm going to make it a little bit smaller. And so all I'm doing for trimming this is going down to a 1/2 inch on my ruler. That's going to give me a little tiny dark border around the blocks. So we're going to trim that up. And then I'm going to show you how to do mitered corners, because this pumpkin border that I'm going to put on it is super cute, and I'm going to pair it up with a solid to give it that real nice pop. And then these, we're just going to, not tonight, but I'm going to later turn them into little mug rugs, or maybe even stuff them and make little pillows. So that'll be cute. So this is saved for later. They're so cute. Let's set this aside. And so this is going to be my quilt. Can you turn just a little bit towards me with the camera? There we go. There we go. Because I'm going to be cutting here for a minute. So super cute. It is a digital print. These are from QT Fabrics. But I think this is going to make just a really cute little wall hanging. And so I picked out a solid that I'm going to use with it. And it's a little bit darker than the orange that's in the panels. And then this is going to be the border fabric. And this is pumpkin toss. But when you see them all together, they look cute. So I'm just going to square this up, and then we're going to piece these together. So when I'm squaring up my fabric, I've already ironed it, and so I'm just going to kind of shake it to where my fold looks like it's straight, and see how I have some overlap over here, and then quite a bit more over here.
Hey Corinne, how are you tonight? Hey Jody, welcome to the show.
And trim that up. And I'm just going to do a real kind of a smaller, lost my ruler. It's buried. Here it is. So let me flip this over so I can see where it is. So I don't want my borders to kind of fold and have a peak in the middle. And rotary cutter. Do you guys do this? You lose stuff under everything? There it is.
It was hiding from me.
At least you had it was closed.
Yeah. Okay. So I have a straight edge, and I'm going to cut 5 strips, and not very big, 2 inches, because we're going to add this orange in the middle. Maybe, how much did I cut? I cut a 1/2 yard. Let's do 3 inches, because I want to see a little bit more of that pumpkin. And And we're going to do 5 strips. There is no pattern for this. We're just making it up as we go.
We got a hello from rainy Northwest Ohio.
Oh, hey Barb, how are you? Welcome to the show.
People have been getting some really violent storms. It's the season.
What have you been working on, Barb?
4 and 5. Okay, so we'll save that for later. But if you look, I still kind of preserved that pumpkin toss. And it doesn't really matter which way these go on. I am going to cut my 5 strips of the orange while I'm here cutting. And then we're going to piece these together. Again, I've already ironed. And this color is, I think it's called Bittersweet. Hang on. This is from Paintbrush Studios. This is called Bittersweet. So it's really a vivid kind of orange. Again, I'm going to square up my fold here. And cut 5 strips. Now I want this to be really narrow, so I'm going to do 1.5 inches because we're going to do a real narrow border.
Carol said she loves orange.
I do too.
Spencer loves orange too. That's his favorite color. Vicki, we'll get that thread color number out here when we do Thread of the Month Club after the project. The number, or I might be able to post it beforehand. Number at least.
And 5. Okay. Okay, so we're going to piece all of these in one long strip on the diagonal. And in order to do that, I need to take my guide off. The orange is called Bittersweet, and
solid.
It is
sweet, solid.
The number is 121125.
Hey Peggy, welcome to the show.
I went through all this trouble to get set up, and now I'm taking it apart. Okay.
Peggy was sewing, so she was a little late.
That's okay. That's what we should all be doing.
Exactly.
Okay. Petals up here. Should be down here on the floor.
Is this something you want to show?
We can. I am changing my stitch length to 1.8. And we're just sewing corner to corner. Now when I'm joining these, I'm going to run my finger all the way down, flip it over, grab my next piece.
Hey Ruth, how are you tonight? Hang on. There we go.
Okay, sorry about that. Camera just shut off.
It looks like it has plenty of battery.
So just lining these up. I'm going to raise my presser foot a little bit because I don't have it set to automatically
We're back. Sorry about that.
Stop with my...
So Corinne was asking show the sewing binding strips. It's confusing.
Okay, so joining these together, we're sewing at a 45. So when you're ready to join the next one, I'm going to take this, I'm going to run my fingers all the way out and flip it over. Set it down. Next piece goes right on top. And we're making a little X, and we're just going to pivot it a little bit, and we can do this again. I don't know where that's out of the, I don't know what that is from. There we go. And then just sew corner to corner. So this is not binding, this is actually going to be our, we're doing two borders. And we're going to do them mitered. And so once you have this, you just trim up, angle, and then trim that way. And then all of these pieces are going to be, the seam will be facing the right way on all of your pieces. We'll do it again with the other border that we're using. Trim up, trim across, and trim down. And the reason we trim this is when we open it up, they're going to be dog-eared for us. And I'm just estimating about what a 1/4 inch looks like. And then you can just actually just finger press. So that's that one. Let's join these. Set our piece down. Take our next piece. Cross over just like this. Set that right up next to our needle, and then we're going to sew corner to corner. Okay, and then again, we're going to slide it all the way down, flip it over, bring it back up. That's our next piece. And just repeat until we join all 5 pieces.
So I was asking, what are you can't live without notions?
Oh, the doohickey.
Do we have that out?
We will in a second. A doohickey.
That's like can't live without notion.
Good set of tweezers. Good seam ripper. And last one. Good sharp pair of scissors. Okay.
This is a panel, Peggy. Hey, Robin. Welcome to the show. Hey, Melissa. How are you doing? Welcome from Montana.
Welcome. It's a really cute panel. I thought we would just make a quick quilt so you can see this is going to be less than an hour project. You know, you still have to quilt it, but how quickly you can put together a panel quilt. They're so easy, and you know, for Halloween we don't want great big giant quilts too, so. Okay, so pressing with the doohickey. So we want all of our seams. I'm just pulling this through to make sure I don't have any, because we're going to sew all these together here in a second. I like to press in one direction, so I'm just going to press these over, slide it forward.
Do we have a link to the product?
Yeah, it's on the Joan Sews.
The front page?
Yeah.
Featured products?
Featured products.
Gotcha. We'll post you a link here, Peggy, just a second.
And one panel is 1 yard on this fabric. And so I used a 1/2 yard of this pumpkin toss. And there's that, all of that. And let's find this one. And do the same thing. And it doesn't matter if it's the same direction, because believe it or not, even though these are the same size, they're not going to meet up at the same place. Because we're going to start them just a little bit off from each other so that our seams don't necessarily line up here. And last one. And even if they did, it wouldn't matter. The reason I go in one direction so that my seams can always be facing towards me when I start sewing these together. And I'm going to put this on the bottom, and I am offsetting by about 1 inch. And let's just make sure, yep, my seam is going right. Let's sew this whole thing together. And before I do that, I'm going to put my sewing guide back on. Because I need good tools to help me sew. Then, yes, my iron is still on. Yay! Yep, that is as fast as we go here. Good pair of scissors.
Hey, Teresa. Welcome to the show. Rainbow Cheeseburger wants to know what machine you're sewing on there.
This one is Bonnie Bluebell. This is the Bernina 570 Cape Edition. This machine also does embroidery. I'm sure somebody just scoffed and went, I'm a quilter, I don't do embroidery. But you can make your quilt labels with the embroidery machine portion on this. So
Cool.
and you can do applique with your embroidery machine, which is my absolute favorite thing to do. And this foot with this guide, that comes with this machine.
Nice. Hey Miranda, welcome to the show.
Oops, broke thread. That or I ran out of bobbin. I broke the thread.
Miranda, what have you been up to?
But what an awesome feature. Now you laugh. Okay, if I was at home sewing on my other machine, I would have been like, I would have sold another 5 miles before I realized.
Miranda's just been sewing. That's good.
So let me just say how awesome that feature is. I don't know if that's the right needle or if it's not coming out, but I'm just going to thread it.
Hey Christine, how are you?
I know I'm not the only one. That would have sewed like another 5 miles with no thread. And then you dig out all your favorite curse words.
Hey Amber, how are you? Hey Linda, welcome to the show. Patsy's working on a Happy Halloween by Amy Bradley. Some applique quilts, but making it a door hanging. Very cool. Hey Kelly, welcome to the show.
It's like a marathon. And I'm standing on it too.
How fast can you go?
I'm trying. I've got pedal to the metal here.
Taco salad, that actually sounds really good, Peggy.
And I broke my thread again. Because I'm going pedal to the metal. I think I didn't sew on this last time because I think there's a burr on the needle. But I haven't changed the needle.
Hey Kathy, how are you? Soccer night, huh?
Soccer night is...
I got my crown today, so I'm sympathetic with you. Quilt of Valor. Very nice.
Very nice. There's a group that meets here on Tuesdays. First Tuesday, I think.
If you're just joining the show, this is the finished, well, not quilted yet, but from the last show.
Alright, let me just start over and rethread the whole machine because
Sometimes you gotta do that.
sometimes you gotta do that. Oh, that has to be a record.
going again. It's just...
Like it's plugged in all the time.
Hey, Robin. Sorry about that. Camera was having a battery issue. Looks like. Hang in there. And we're back. So those are unscheduled commercial breaks.
Shopping breaks. Go out on the website and grab this fabric.
Is the bittersweet solid, I believe.
Yes.
Hey Karen, welcome to the show.
Okay, that's done. We're going to go over here to the iron real quick and iron this because this is more than I want to do with the doohickey.
So you'll have to run over and iron it real quick.
Okay. Going. Robert, you can tell jokes.
Or you can try the scissors.
Well, at least these commercials don't last a half an hour. You're right. Amber, so she's working on a... What actually are
Panel
you?
quilt.
It's a wall hanging.
Wall hanging. So these fabrics... So this is a panel. So one of the ladies was in today talking about making these into mug rugs and then trading them with your friends. Almost like quilt cards or something. But Joan's making a wall hanging out of it.
And we're showing you how to do mitered borders.
Mitered borders today.
You could also go grab the Thomas thing from last week.
And so somebody asked about one of the must-have notions, the doohickey. I think these are $7.99, something like that. And scissors. Everybody should have a good pair of scissors. And embroidery set, or small.
Okay, we are ironed.
And we're back done from the iron.
We are all pressed out. So, we are sewing a mitered seam on this. And so, you know that when you're sewing any time a mitered seam, you need to mark in your stop point and start point. So, I am going to use 2 pins. So when you're doing your binding this way, this is a great way to do it when you want to, when you have a patterned fabric and using straight seams is just going to be like, wow, you can really see that. So I wanted to show you how to do this. Now you're going to come out past, can you point it down a little bit so they can see? So however big your border is, you need to come out that far past your edge of your quilt. So see, there's my edge of my quilt. And so I'm going to come out a little bit further than what I need to. So right there. And then I'm going to put a pin, little ruler, set that down, 1/4 inch because we're using a 1/4 inch miter. Right there. So that's where I'm going to start sewing. When I get down to the other end, I'm going to mark my stop sewing point. And so for this, I'm actually going to, oops, pull my thread out, set my needle down. right where I want it to be, and then I'm going to pull that pin out because I don't want to get, I think there's a burr on this needle. I don't want to get another one. And so one of the things I did earlier was I set my stitch length to 1.8 millimeters because we are going to be trimming this in a minute. And I don't want these seams to fall apart. And so as I'm sewing, I am not tugging on either one of these fabrics. I'm letting the machine feed them through. So how many of you have done mitered borders on your quilts? Weigh in and give us a smiley face or a thumbs up, or
We need an emoji.
it's Taco Tuesday, so margarita. Okay, so I'm coming down to the edge, and I'm just going to use a little bit of ink, and I'm going to mark it. And I'm guesstimating, which is okay.
Corner.
Miter corners. And I'm looking for my back stitch because I'm going to take a couple of little back stitches here.
Kathy said, I do.
Yeah. Okay, a couple of stitches too far, but that's okay. We'll just snip them. Okay. So again, we're going to see how we're a little bit further back from our edge here. And so we're just going to cut it. Okay, so there's our excess. So we're just going to pull this back just like this. I'm going to put a little pin in it to hold it in place. And then we're going to do the same thing with this side. We're just going to come out past. And this is kind of a cheater way. So normally people would like join these and then sew that way. But I'm going to show you the way that I learned how to do it. I think it's easy, and I'm hoping you will too. So again, we're going to start about 1/4 of an inch in. I can feel my seam right there, so I'm going to put a little dot. And I'm going to put my needle down right there and then start sewing.
Stephanie says she's done it on napkins.
Yeah.
Wow, cool. Hey, Carla.
That's not threading it.
Bonnie's going to need a new needle when this is all done.
Doubt.
Well, I don't know if it's a cheater way, but maybe a shortcut.
Well, I mean, I guess there's really no cheater way because, you know, however you do it, that's the correct way.
Yep.
So my home ec teacher would not approve. But I'm here to tell you, if it works for you, it is the correct way. So we're not doing this for grades anymore. Just not holding up my graduation. Going, well, you didn't do this right. Marking my stop point. Couple of back stitches. And cut. Okay. And we don't really care how straight this is. We just want to make sure we have enough to join. So it's going to come out to about, I'm going to give myself a little extra because this is why we did 5. Come on up here. 5 seams. Oops, my scissors are magnetized. This is why we did 5 seams instead of 5 rows instead of 4, because you could have done this if you just measured it out, but we can use this border fabric. And again, I'm going to pull this back and pin it because I don't want to sew it in right now. And we're going to do the other seams. So I'm just pinning this to hold it in place. And then we're going to sew down this side. Allowing our extra. And then mark our start point. And I'm just guesstimating. I've been sewing long enough that I can kind of know what a 1/4 of an inch looks like. As long as it doesn't move. Set my needle
What is
down.
it called these days if it's not home ec? Lana said that it's fax.
Fax. I don't know what that stands for. Do you know?
Mm-mm. It was called home ec when I was in school too.
I have trauma from home ec. You know, you think you know what you're doing until somebody tells you you don't. But that's okay. School was very different for me than it was for, you know, kids now. I mean, probably for you too. We got spanked when I was in school.
Well, that's true. That's true.
And I'm not saying they should do that. I'm not.
No.
I mean, it was very traumatizing. Okay. Let me straighten up my border here. And we're running short on time, so I'm going to sew this, and then I'm going to show you how to do the miter. No, what's that? Not with that. Almost, there it is. Lost my pen. Mark my little stop point. And cut. Okay. So for this part, you're going to bring both pieces out, and what you're going to do, it's easiest to work from the wrong side. You're going to take and fold this, and so see how I have this nice sharp little corner right there? Right there. So we're folding these so that we have our miter line. And so if we fold these back just like this, this is the line that we're going to sew on. And so there's a couple ways you can do it. So I'm going to show you another use for that doohickey. You're going to love it. If I can find it again, right here. Or you can use a pencil, like a lead graphite pencil. So right on the edge of this fabric, actually it's like right there. So we actually want to measure. It's been a minute since I've done these. 1/4 inch. And if you use this side, you can actually crease and mark. And I don't know if you can see, maybe I'll hold it up for you. Yep, you can see it. See how that nice crease came in there? So you're gonna hold these together just like this. If you want to put a pin, it's probably not a bad idea. Put a pin in there. And then you're actually just gonna take and put a couple of pins. Excuse me, my iron's burping. Okay, so we've got this. We've got these pinned. You need to make sure this line right here is straight together. Put another pin right there. And then what you're going to do is you're going to pull your quilt back. Okay? To where it's the opposite way. So see, my quilt was folded in before. Now it's out. I'm going to take my guide off because I won't be able to sew this if I don't. And that crease that I just made is my sewing line. And we are going to stop right at our stitching line right here. Think. You know, sometimes stuff just throws you off. I did. I drew it the wrong way. I was getting ready to sew it, and I'm like, that just seems wrong. Do you ever do that? This could have been bad.
Oops.
Oopsie. Seam needs to go the other way. So let's fold it just like this. I've shown you how to do a miter for something else. Miter goes this way. Put your ruler down right next to that seam. So ruler is lined up with the fold. And let's do our crease this way. There we go. This will work. This will be much better. I'm glad y'all are watching because I would have sewn it and been like, what? How did I do that? I do like to sew open side to closed side. So what I mean by that is my raw edge is up here towards the center. Gonna stop right at that 1/4 inch, do a little bit of back stitch, and then cut. Fingers crossed. And when we open it up, there is that perfect miter. And then you can just go back and trim all of this off. But so you can get really close. So when you use this method, look how, even if you did like 3 borders or however many borders, look how sharp that point is right here. So when those match up perfectly. And right here, when those match up perfectly. So this is how I learned how to do a miter when I was a kid, before I took home ec. And they said, no, you have to start out here and sew, and then continue down and sew. So it's just a difference in method, but I like this method best because, especially if you wanted to do like a double border like what we did here, this makes it line up just absolutely perfect. It doesn't matter if you do 1 border or 2 borders. You know, if I wanted to put another skinny border inside of here, that would have lined up just as perfect. So this is the method that I use and that I like the best, so I wanted to share it with you. I think it's going to be a pretty cute wall hanging. Not huge, but...
And the fabrics are fun, right?
Oh, I know. Halloween fabrics are just fun. But when you have a border like this, I don't know. I mean, it's still chopped off, but sometimes if you wanted a fussy cut with that, you absolutely could. And so we will finish this up and have it on display in the store. But doesn't this orange just go perfect with...
Yeah, it's really nice.
Yeah. So it adds just a little bit of extra pop. I used 1/3 of a yard for the orange, 1/2 a yard of this punch, and then 1 yard of this, and I'm going to have extra if you want to recreate this project at home. Thread Club. Well, thank you, Melissa. I think if you try it, you'll never go back to the other way. Color of the month is 2564. It is this pale pinkish color. It kind of reminds me of the sky sometimes here at night as the sun sets in the spring. And then it's 15% off for the show. I still don't remember to put that on the page. I need to put it on the page. If you're in the club, it's 20% off. If you're not in the club, the thread's 15% off. And if you want to join the club, it's $20 to join. You get this nice little storage box, which is great for retreats. You can take several threads with you and easily storage. It's not too big. I was actually thinking I need one of these at home for me, but... And then our giveaway. I lost it. Oh! Compliments of Moda. And it's 2 templates. It's Pauline's Quilter's World. It is the kind you put your pencil in and draw on your quilt. Retail is $39. So this is quite a big giveaway.
Yeah, it's a good giveaway.
Yeah, it's a really good giveaway.
Mm-hmm.
So just need a winner for that. And we actually have Post-its up here. Let's go with some. But yeah, kind of cute. And then when you're done, just go back and trim these off, 1/4 inch. But I almost made the mistake and did the miter the wrong way. But if you do sew them and it's going the wrong way, don't trim until you open this up and press it out, because it'd be easy to make that mistake. So cute, cute, cute.
Tonight's winner is Nancy Sunnison. I don't know if I spelled your name.
Nancy,
Pronounced
congratulations. Nancy, if you have not shopped with us before, please go to quiltershq.com and register for Joan Sews, or just sign up for the newsletter, and it'll give us your information. We'll get your email address and mail this off to you.
Cool stuff.
Yeah. I think this goes on the foot. I think this came off the foot.
That's
It
true.
is. It's the back of my foot.
Joan lost a screw.
I did. I have a screw loose. No surprise to you, all of you, I'm sure. No, it's the screw off the back of my foot. Okay, thanks for joining us tonight. Maybe it's the one off the other foot. Thank you for joining us tonight, and these fabrics are available on quiltershq.com. If you go up in the top right corner, there's a Joan Sews products, and we can get those on the way to you.
Well, Joan, what do we always say?
Well, what I did a couple times tonight.
A bunch.
Check your thread path. If you're having a lot of breakage, change your needle, because it's probably that. And oil your hook before you bring your machine in for a spa day.
Everyone, enjoy your week and happy sewing.
Yes.
Try out the new technique.
Yeah, try this out. Let us know how you like it.
Enjoy your week, everyone.